Hello, it's me, Edward, and welcome back to another episode of Stop Motion English. In this episode, we are going to talk more about the principles of stop motion English. So we have see, observe, analyze, and create. We are going to apply the principles of stop motion English into an actual movie scene. For this example, we're going to be using Up from Disney and Pixar. The first thing that we'll do is we are going to assess the first scene, and we need to come up with some text for each of the criteria. So we have see, observe, analyze, and create. For see, we are going to write what we literally see. For observe, we're going to note what else we can see in the picture. For analyze, we just have to assume what's happening in the picture. And for create, we're going to come up with a good sentence. Let's begin. In this scene, we see a wedding ceremony, and we can observe that the couple are still young, about 25 years old, and we can analyze that everyone is happy. In fact, very happy. Now, for the sentence, we can create a young couple got happily married in church. The next scene, we see an old and dilapidated house. Another observation is that it was just recently sold as seen on the sign. And we can analyze that the newlyweds bought the house. And so the sentence that we can create is, the couple bought the old and ugly house as their new home. Next, we can see the couple, and their names are Carl and Ellie. We can observe that the house looks good now. We can analyze that they did their best to fix the house into a home. And so we can create the sentence, Ellie and Carl painted the entire house to different colors. The next picture, we can see that Ellie is crying in front of a doctor. As an observation, we can say that the doctor specializes in babies, as seen in the poster. We can assume that their first baby died in the womb. And so we can come up with, visiting the doctor, Ellie and Carl learned that their first baby died in her womb. We can see Ellie kissing Carl. As an observation, we know that they are so old now. We can analyze that they are still happy growing up, even without children. And the sentence that we can create here is, despite having no children, Carl and Ellie grew old very happy. For the next picture, we can see that Ellie is reading a book in bed. An observation, we can say that it seems like a hospital. We can analyze that Ellie's health is no longer okay. And so we can come up with, Ellie had to visit the hospital often because she is no longer healthy. We see Carl sitting down. We can observe that he is alone and in a church with flowers and balloons. We can analyze that Ellie is dead. And so, we can create the sentence, Ellie died, causing devastation and loneliness for Carl, who sat alone in the church. For the last picture, we can see that their house is not well lit, so we can observe that it's really dark and gloomy. The analysis is that the happiness in the house is no longer kept. And so, we can come up with, Carl is now sad and lonely, forgetting about taking care of his own house. By using this technique, we can come up with the following storyline. A young couple got happily married in church. The couple bought an old, ugly house as their new home. Ellie and Carl painted the entire house to different colors. Visiting the doctor, Ellie and Carl learned that their first baby died in her womb. Despite having no children, Carl and Ellie grew very happy. Ellie had to visit the hospital often because she is no longer healthy. Ellie died, causing devastation and loneliness for Carl, who sat alone in the church. Carl is now sad and lonely. and he has forgotten about taking care of his house.